Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today I have a second battle that I played against Pochto. Definitely a dwarf versus the new Vampire Counts multiplayer faction, Mousillon. Um, and yeah, we're going to talk about the dwarves a little bit today. The dwarves, definitely I definitely think they're a power faction now. I definitely think they are definitely competitive, at least competitive against um, all the other factions. And part of the reason here is my Rune Lord here and my Rune Smith. And so with them, I'm going to get a huge amount of armor, I'm going to get a huge amount of damage resist, and I'm going to get a huge amount of damage with the Rune of Wrath and Ruin. And so that magic damage is very good against most things, but definitely against ethereal units, and which you'll see today. I have those two guys. I have two Longbeards supporting them, one of which is the Grumbling Guard, to keep my fatigue up and to keep it from hurting my troops. And I brought these guys, the Grumbling Guard for the fatigue bonus, and then also these guys to just help in any fight against Grave Guard with great weapons. Just because I don't have, surprisingly for the dwarves, I don't have very much armor piercing damage here, except for them. I have a main line here of 4 dwarf warriors. Behind them I have 5 rangers. And I brought these guys because they're 50 gold cheaper, and really if something gets into them, they're gonna have a hard time defending themselves regardless. And I just wanted more of them so that the zombies that they are inevitably going to be summoned could only hit one unit, and I could have some other units still firing. And there's no need for the Quarler's shields because there's no range units for the vampires. I have a grudge thrower here in the back just to force him to come to me. I always like to bring at least one piece of artillery with the dwarves, and I brought this grudge thrower specifically to try and deal with any grave guard with great weapons. Up in the back here I have the dragonback slayers to protect my my rangers from any flying vampire lords. On each flank I have a miner, and then I actually have 3 miners here to cover the back, and I had enough money to just buy 1 dwarf warrior. So that's why he's there. And so I have all the abilities on these guys, except for, of course, the Anvil of Doom and the Missile Resistance rune here in this Runesmith. So now let's go take a look at the Vampire Army. He's got a main line here of Skeleton Warriors. I like that. And he's got this Mortis Engine here. Definitely going to be one of the first targets. But I like the fact that he brought multiple large targets. I don't really like bringing just one large target because it will die very, very quickly, and there's not much you can do about it. But if you have multiple large units, they tend to pay off more often. So he has this main line, this Mortis Engine. He's got a Vargulf here on the side. Huge armor-piercing damage. I'll have to make sure my lords stay away from this guy. They will die very, very quickly. He's got 2 Graveguard with great weapons here. He's got his 2 Banshees here. Again, I think, to snipe out any Rune Lords, and they're just great damage-dealing characters. Up here, you can see the Red Duke on his majestic zombie dragon with his puny little sword. That's great. That's a big chin. And in the back here, 2 Cairn Wraiths, and I'm definitely going to be targeting these guys with my Runes of Wrath and Ruin. You can see he's going to approach. Very nice of him. And you can see I've maintained this compact formation so that my buffs can go to as many people as possible without clumping my rangers too close together. The dwarves, I think, would be very happy to watch these undead monsters approach. The dwarves honor their ancestors above all else, and so raising of the dead is one of the greatest offenses. And so that's why these slayers are here on the battlefield today. One of their ancestors was raised and is fighting in the main skeleton line, and they are not happy about it. Not at all. You can see great unit model here, these Grumbling Guard. I love the ornate gold and the axes and everything, the green and gold. Great job of just, you know, varying things up. They could have easily just made them look like this, and I'm very glad they didn't. Anyway, so you're going to see his heroes here hop out to the flank, and the Vargolf as well. My Grudge Thrower is going to open fire. Almost a hit. Oof, got one of the Cairn Race there. But I think he's going to get back up. Yeah, he's fine. Rock, it went through him. I'm not sure if my Grudge Thrower actually pays off in this fight. I don't think it hit anything, really. It just keeps missing. The Gobwhopper is much more accurate. And so you're going to see him move his Red Duke in here. My Rangers were hidden, and so they have stock, and so he couldn't see them. And I'm assuming it was a mistake here. But I'm going to do some great early damage here against the Red Duke. See, he gets stunned there by the fire, but I'm going to switch my target here to this Mortis Engine. I need to get it off. That's a big part of his killing power here in this army. You can see he's moved his troops here a little too far out, but you can see he's already taking advantage of those zombies. They're raised, and I have 2 units here, so they're going to die relatively quickly. This main line, you can see I'm going to start popping some stuff, and I realize here that my line's too big. It's causing issues, and so you can see I move my Rune Lord to this side and my Rune Smith to this side, and so this side is definitely going to be my weak side. You can see here already that Master Rune of Wrath and Ruin crippling the 850 gold unit here. Essentially dead, just from one spell. That is the power of the Rune Lord. You can see here, this main line, unsupported, there's no leadership arrows around here, and so they're going to take some crippling damage early on. That is a major mistake. You can see his Vargolf here came in here, and I turned 3 whole units of Rangers around here to take pot shots at it, and it's going to drop quickly, being a low armored unit. You can see my miners here taking on these ethereal units, and they are going to do horribly. There's not a fight that these people would take. This is the worst place you can put your armor-piercing damage. But really, they're more of a meat shield than anything else, and so they're doing their job just fine. I'm definitely aware of this Red Duke here incoming, and so I have my Slayers. I could send them off after this Vargolf, but I'm confident in my Ranger's ability to do that. And you can see, just standing firm, letting my main line do its work. Mistake here, letting these Grave Guards stay out here, or I think they were set on walking, maybe. Very, very confident in Grave Guard. You can see my Longbeards here. I'm going to be sending them in to back up this fight to give them some more armor-piercing damage, and I'm going to be targeting my Wrath and Ruin runes as they come up here on these Grave Guard to get them down as fast as possible. You can see my miners here coming out to help, and you can see the zombie dragon here charges, misses my Runesmith, and hits these Rangers. And instantly my Slayers are going to come in here chasing him. This is a great combat strategy, literally line in a line. But it's a good thing they came, because these guys got terrified off the field. Eventually I'm going to be turning these Rangers around here to shoot this Graveyard. And I'm going to try and move these guys out here to shoot at the Red Duke. And I'm just trying to keep this guy safe, so he's just hanging out. It would be good potentially to send him in against any summoned units. I think he'd do okay there. But anywhere else he will struggle. You can see here I pull out my runesmith, and yeah, I'm actually going to charge him into the back of these summoned skeleton warriors. I don't know what these rangers are doing. Oh, this Mortis Engine is coming back, and so here I'm going to open fire on it immediately. It's a huge threat to me. These skeleton warriors do. And I just need to get this out the field. You can see my right line slowly dying with the Grave Guard attacking the sides, and you can see Banshees eventually here got into these rangers. I'm going to try and send my Slayers after Duke, but they're going to get intercepted here. That's fine with me. I'm pretty confident at this point. You can see here the Rune of Wrath and Ruin going off in these Grave Guard, and it's going to severely spin the fight into my favor. You can see I'm still targeting here this Mortis Engine, even to the point of ignoring the Red Duke, but here you can see my Slayers finally do get into that fight. The Red Duke is not going to enjoy this. You can see him casting Invocation of the Heck, Undeath Resurgent onto himself. Yeah, and at this point, I'm going to shift these Rangers here, shoot this Red Duke, and the morale here is already so low across the board, there's not much they're going to be able to do once their leader dies. And he's going to concede defeat there. Vampires versus Dwarves, I think definitely a hard fight with this new Wrath and Ruin. I really don't know the correct way to do it. Maybe get some Black Knights. That's a cheap way to get at some of my skirmishers. I think don't go for the Mortis Engine, maybe just a Corpse Cart. It's harder to hit over your lines. Maybe you bring it in as close to the friendly line as possible to protect it. But you can see here, great kills here on all my Dwarf Warriors. My miners meat shielded correctly. 242 kills here on these Slayers. Definitely paid for themselves. I think they killed a lot of zombies and other such things that were put into the back lines. Low armor units, which the Slayers have mostly non-armor piercing damage, and so they're going to enjoy that fight. 40 kills here actually on the Grudge Shower, not that bad. I don't know what they were shooting. Yeah, see, just nothing quite able to chew through anything. This Cairn Wraith did okay. These Grave Guard did okay for being unsupported in the main line. Yeah, and my Rangers, you see, they took out the big targets. They did what they were supposed to do. They took out the Mortis Engine, the Vargolf, and a lot of the Red Duke's hit points. The mana he had to spend healing himself was mana he didn't spend on healing the main line, which, again, helped. And it's just very hard to beat this 66% damage resistance of this Runesmith and this Rune Lord. And I think with these two, it's definitely why the Dwarves are a competitive faction, is just because of the amount of damage you can put down here. With other factions, I might want to bring a Thane to like duel any heroes that try and come attack these guys. And for the Wood Elves, I definitely recommend putting him on an Anvil of Doom. They have a lot of magic damage attacks, and that'll boost the magic resistance of your whole army here. Anyways, that's that.